Hello. Today is gonna be a good day or a bad day. I don't know. My friends try to convince me to not do that, but this is my channel and this is my opinion, and I think that it's fair to talk with you guys about this problem. This is a very specific topic. Sorry, it's not that specific, but it's a thing that I start noticing more and more on this day and age that we live on it. And it's kind of sad. Why is sad? You're asking about it. And what is the topic? You saw in the title, so it's about racism. Racism is bad. When you have a prejudice against people only because of her, the people's color skin is a bad thing. I think every single person agree with it. But the thing is, uh, a couple months ago, in the beginning of the year 2024, my friends were trying to have like a book club, and on this book club, the book that the first book the the girl chose to read for everyone to read was this one. It is a Brazilian book. I found the PDF was like the first link. I don't know if this is legal or not, but it was on online. It call it is from Djalma Ribeiro, and it's called Pequeno Manual Antirracista. The translation is basically a small manual of anti-racist. So we read this book. I watch a, I read the book, and I also watch the audiobook from for this book to prepare for our debate because it was basically a debate. It was me, two friends, the girl, and another person that was just listening. But it was basically a debate like between four of us, and it was kind of unfair because when I read the book, I noticed that the author, this girl, was racist. And I start the conversation with my friends. It was a like a 4 hours conversation. I don't remember the details, but it was about the first point that I needed to bring up was a very easy point. It was about you can be racist. It was a question. Can you be racist against white people? The three of them say no, you cannot be racist against white people. And I was just okay, I'm fucked. I uh, i was joking in text before, texting them saying, oh, i'm I'm screw on this conversation because I'm almost sure that I'm gonna be the only person that disagree with the author. And now I to say, to not speak like half truths, I believe that you can be racist against white people because racism is not excluding anyone. And the reason why I started, I can be come here. The reason why I started asking that question is was to trying to set a tone to know if they agree or disagree with me, like in a lot of things. Because as you all guys knows, I'm a Brazilian, and in Brazil we have a problem with racism. Because the thing is, in the U.S., you always see cases of violence and segregation and every single stuff that happens in Brazil as well. But the difference in Brazil is because in Brazil we have a very diverse culture and uh, a very diverse population. And the question that I asked it before, that is, can you be racist against white people, is to see if they are truthful or not, or if they are brainwashed. In my point of view, I think they are brainwashed to believe that you cannot be racist against white people. I'm gonna give. So we talk about like 4 hours about this topic because the book. I can come back here. The book talks about a lot of things. Let's see if I can find a summary. Yeah, of course this book doesn't have a summary. Here. Uh, of course, this book doesn't have pages. So is basically speaking. Oh, you have your summary, your introduction. Uh, inform yourself about racism. See the the blackness. This could be translated as blackness. Recon. Uh, let me use our friendly Google Translate so I can be like more. Ooh, I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think I could have done this before, but yeah, I cannot do this. Fuck. So my translation is gonna be: see the blackness, uh, know your privilege as a white person, know the racism inside of you. How can I say this? I'm sorry, I'm not that good as like translating at the same time. Is support? Yes, I forgot this one. Support the politics, the educational politics affirmatives is basically the believing that you have to help. I'm gonna get that. Transform the ambient of the work. Read black authors. Uh, quest ask the culture that you consumes. Know your desires. Fight against racial violence, and let's all be anti-racist. These are the main topics that she talks about that go the about the in the book. Sorry, sorry if my translation are rough. Again, English is not my first language, but I want to just get here, get this out of the way. Is basically what is the dictionary thing about racist? What is the dictionary definition about racist? I in that conversation, I literally started with the definition. So everyone agree and disagree. And I said prejudice, discrimination, antagonism by an individual, community, institution against a person or a people on their base of a membership of a patriarchal, racial, and ethnicity group, typically on the minority. But this is not true. This is true, but it's not the point that I'm trying to convey. And is the belief that races possess a distinct characteristic, abilities, qualities specific as the disguises as inferior or superior by the other. This is the definition: a prejudice, a discrimination by an individual against a particular a particular race or ethnic group. So, by the definition, it's possible to be racist against white. Using the definition, you can be racist against white. What they say to me when I speak that to them, no, the definition is wrong because you need to have the power struggle. You need to have uh, basically a way to that society puts against to be a discrimination. So they say the white has the power against black people to be racist. And I say, yes, it's possible the white to be racist against black. In the same way, if the black person has the power, they could be racist against white. No, no. They say no because the society, black people doesn't have the power in the society. And they say that society is racist, like the author said. We're gonna get there, but and I'll say this doesn't make any fucking sense. And I say, no, 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 you're wrong, you're racist. And I'll just the fuck? Why I'm racist? Because I'm saying that white can suffer from racist. And then we just got that cyclical argument about oh no, the white cannot be racist because they don't they have the power and the black cannot be racist against white because they do not have the power. And they say oh historically speaking whites always had the power and the black don't. And I say what the fuck are you saying? This doesn't make any sense. If you go to countries that you have most black people, they have the power. And they say yeah, but we are talking about Brazil. And I say, okay, if you go to Brazil, where on the law says that you and in this point you can go to anywhere because where in the law says that blacks doesn't have the same rights as the white person. If you have that, if you have any ethnicity has more power or have more rights against this other ethnicity, yes, the law is racist. That country is racist. But if you don't have it, it's not because you don't have the power. The law is the power. And you say, oh, but the law is one thing. The structure of power is other because, for example, white persons have more privileges. As if you're the example they give me was if you uh I'm coming okay let me go back we talk about that and we are talking about quotas to enter in universities or entering in the jobs for example and I said that type of quotas as they said saying we're gonna hire black people because they're black that's racist and they say no it's not and I will say, yes, it is, because you're not hiring the person that you need. You're hiring a caller in your coloring book to fill up a form and say, oh, we're not racist because we have black people working here. We're not racist. We're not misogynist because we have women working here. This doesn't make any sense. This shows that you're misogynist and racist because you're hiring them not because you need them, because you're seeing the color of their skin. And I said, if you have the example that I give is if you have two students, this is for quotas for the university, so it's easier for them to understand because they were university students as well. If you have two students, one is black, one is white. Both of them have the same GPA, have the same scores. If the blacks enters on the university because they are black, because they are women, because they are transgenders, transgenic, because they're gay, because they're indigenous. This is a condition they they're putting above their standards. They're not from merit. They are just receiving that because of their skin color. And because of that, this thing that is happening is a racist thing, because you're prioritizing other races against each other. You're saying, even both of you are equal, I'm choosing this one because they're black, because they're gay, because they're trans, because they're indigenous. That's racist. If because they're a woman, is racist, misogynist, is homophobic, is transphobic, because you're just giving the opportunity for the people because they are the thing. I'm not gonna. I'm from now on. I'm not gonna talk about the LGBTQ community. I'm gonna make another video just expressing my opinion about them. So I'm just gonna focus r- on the race. So, but the main point goes from for different groups as well. And then we are just talking about and saying, and after that they say, oh, they're doing that so the black community has not the same, but trying to balance the privileges, the historical privileges that the white usually have. And I say, so if you're saying that the most of the population is black, why you're not putting a quota for, sorry, they said the most of the black community is poor. And I'm saying, so if they're poor, why not put the quota for the poor people, for the income, instead of the race? Because if you put a quota on the income, all the low income is going to benefit for that, because you have poor white people, you have poor indigenous, you have poor Asian people in every country. So if you're trying to get the opportunity to the lower class to enter in the university, or get the job, it's more for entering university at this point, or receiving some random benefit of the government. Why not to put to the poor people? And they say, oh no, because even if the white is poor, the black poor is worse in the worst condition of the white poor. And I say, what the fuck were you saying? And they give me the example saying, oh, if a black uh let's say if a black student is walking on the street, he's going to be stopped by the police because he's black. And I say, what the fuck are you saying? And they say, oh no, because and again, that discussion, we're not like the real debater, so we don't have any proof and any font. We are just like going with our heads and our intuition. I try to search it up things, because they say, oh, 50%. Sorry, my mind doesn't work in a straight line, so I'm just jumping topics. But they say, oh, more than 50% of Brazil is black. And I said, no. In Brazil, you have like, I don't know, 15% black, 35 mixed, that is black and white mixed, so it's like brownish, and other 40% white or something like that, 50% white. And they say, no, most of them are black. No, we're not. You see, black people are black. If you're so that goes to another topic. Sorry. Let's go back. So the kid was stopped by the police, and the kid stopping by the police. Why? Because they're black. So you're saying the police is racist. So the problem is not about the society. Oh, because in the police they have the, I don't believe that, but they say, oh, in the police they're trained to stop more black persons. And I said to them, so that is the problem that you have to solve, not giving more privileges to another race. And they say, oh no, but we have to do it to balance it out the historical depth that we have with black persons. I say, no, that's not how it works. And they keep like talking about that and just fumbling about their words. And I would just say, no, that's not how it works. If you have a problem, you don't solve a problem given other privileges. You solve the police problem, making campaigns, making more training, trying to go to the root cause. And they say, oh no, because this is intrinsic to our society. So let's change the society. And they say, oh, we cannot change the society. Of course we can change the society. The society is made by us. You cannot change the whole society alone. But if you change yourself, you can change the society little by little. And this is the 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 good way to fight against racism. And we have this whole first statement, and then I show you to them. You want to solve the racism? I remember a video that Morgan Freeman talked to this guy. I don't know who this guy is, but it's about the way that I believe how to end the racism. And then I'm gonna show it to you guys.
I'm Jewish.
Okay. Which month is Jewish History Month?
There isn't one.
Oh.
I want to show you one more of Morgan Freeman. This is from a couple.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is another video. Let me find the just the Morgan Freeman one. This is about this guy. I didn't watch this video, but yeah, it's no, it's not. Where's the video? But it's basically saying is this one?
History Month, you find
Ridiculous.
why?
You're going to relegate my history to a month?
Oh, come on.
What do you do with yours? Which month is White History Month? No,
Well-
come on, tell me.
Well, I'm Jewish.
Okay. Which month is Jewish History Month?
There isn't one.
Oh. Oh. Why not?
Yeah.
Do you want one?
No.
No. I don't either. I don't want a Black History Month. Black history is American history.
How are we going to get rid of racism until...
Stop talking about it. I'm going to stop calling you a white man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man. I know you as Mike Wallace. You know me as Morgan Freeman. You're
Black History Month, you find...
ridiculous.
So the thing that I'm trying to show in this statement of Morgan Freeman. So they say that after that Morgan Freeman regretted saying that those words and take it back. But my point is still is there. Is the problem nowadays more and more the culture are trying to put a war us against them. We are the right ones, they are the bad ones. Let's fight. They slave us. Let's slave them. For me, doesn't make any sense. And I really took those words to the heart. That's why those words, uh, every time that I think about racism, I remember those words of Morgan Freeman. It wasn't that video because it's a short, blah blah blah, but was that video itself about that context. Because when you understand what Morgan Freeman said, is racism is still happening those days because you still have people fighting against racism. I'm not saying that you should stop advocating against racism, but it's more about what is the difference between me and a black person? Zero. And you say, oh, you have, oh, but you were born in golden, what is it called? You're born in a golden family. You have a lot of money. The black people was born without a father and blah blah blah. So the thing is, where do I start and where they start is different than our colors. Because the thing is, you can go back to the argument that they are saying, oh, because the society the society is against black. No, it's not. The society more than ever are trying to fix the problem, but the thing is they keep pushing an agenda against again, is it the agenda to make us against them, to make white against black, to make gays against straights, to make woman against men. And in the end, you're just fomenting this type of battle because the the higher ups doesn't want this battle to finish because they can use this battle to manipulate the population. I know that I'm going to like crazy theories, but think of it. It's easier to manipulate a population if you have a left and a right that doesn't talk to each other. Because I'm going to give a Brazilian example and U.S. example because they are very close related. A Brazilian example was uh, you have Bolsonaro against Lula, that was the president. For the U.S. is you have Joe Biden or Kamala Harris against Trump. If these ones are fighting against each other, wins the ones who have higher, a little bit higher amount of people to vote for them. So it's basically saying they're fighting and they're saying you're bad and they're saying you're bad. So we're not gonna talk to each other and we're not gonna work together to make a better place. That's the point that I'm trying to make. In Brazil is the same thing. In Brazil, they were saying, "Oh, you're corrupt," and this guy, "No, you're corrupt." Instead of the population coming together and say, we're not gonna follow you one or follow you two because both of you are corrupt and we are fighting together against corruption. And this is the biggest problem because you're putting always us against them. And this goes back to the representation because when you give opportunity to a race instead of a person, instead of trying to help a community as a whole, the other side that doesn't receive the help starting to question, why should I help them, why should I be friend with them, because they're receiving anything easier. uh Again, we can go to the university example again. I said it before. If this guy and this guy have the same grades, the same GPA, and this guy is white and this guy is black, this guy's enters because it's black. Okay, this is a very radical example because as individuals we're never the same. But let's go to this example and say you have the white person that have like the GPA of 3 and you have the black person with the GPA of 2.5. The black person enters in the university even if their GPA is lower just because they're black, not because they're poor, not because they're in financial difficulties, not because they live in a favela or they live without a father. They just enter because they're black. And the white person or any other, because in Brazil we have quotas for other races as well. But let's say the white person that didn't enter is gonna start hating about these guys because they're lose their opportunity because they're not black. And one thing that keeps happening in Brazil is the reverse Michael Jackson effect. Because now, I think this is goes back to the society contagious act that is basically speaking that most people are finding yourself as a minority group just to fit in. For example, as you can see, I'm not black, so I'm white. Okay, I'm 100% white. But if you ask an American and heard me saying that I'm from Brazil, I'm not white anymore. I'm Latino. Latino. So if I want to to abuse the system, instead of presenting myself as a white person, I'm gonna say no, I'm a Latino. I'm Latino. Ay ay ay. And I can say that it's not racist because I'm really a Latino. And this go back to the other thing about like cultural appropriation that is again doesn't make any sense. And the thing is, the society would view me different and will give me privileges, because the other problem for this author that we talked earlier, Djamila Ribeiro, American Djamila Ribeiro, she in Brazil she made it a very big deal creating a place of speech. A place of speech is nothing more than a phrase for them to say, "Oh, you're not a black woman, so you cannot speak for black women because you're not one." But it doesn't matter if you're study about it, if you're research about it, if you have like case studies. You're not a black woman. You cannot say the problems that a black woman faces because you're not one. Because you can talk about a topic, but you can never talk about a topic from a black woman point of view. Even if you have a research backing you up, you can never say that because you're not a black woman. And that's ridiculous. Because before being a black woman, she is a black woman. Djalma Ribeiro is a black woman. But she is a human being. And a human being is a human being. You can talk about being a human being because you can use logic and talk about the other person's experiences. You can talk about your experience. You can say, "Oh, uh, uh, I never saw any woman being raped." That means that rape doesn't exist. No, exists. That means that you don't presenciate that, but you have a knowledge in the world that rapes exist. And this got me so upset because a lot of arguments in Brazil was ended just with the saying, "Oh, know your place to speech. You're not in your place to speech about this topic." They're using wrongly because that is not the definition that I give you before, but they're like the abridged version, and that's really pissed me off. And in the end, they're just so this book that I read you the topics and the summary. This book is basically putting all the blame and all the negativity that black community suffers in Brazil in the white shoulders, saying, "Oh, everyone is racist. If you're not fighting against racism, you're racist as well." And she's saying, "Oh, in my life, I learned that we are racist, and I didn't understand." So it's basically bullshit. She created a book to be racist against white, and that's why I started my point asking them, "It's possible to be racist against white?" And they say no. So from there, I spent like 4 hours saying you can be racist against white, and the things that she write is racist against white. That's why this is important for me to get started. And they say, "Oh, you totally misread the book because you're focusing your problems because you're white and you're trying to make the racism cause about you." And I was just saying, no, I'm trying to make racism cause about racism. and I showed them the Morgan Freeman video, and they say, "Oh, this doesn't make any sense." And I say, "Of course it makes sense. Why you discriminate people?" So the other concept that the everybody misuse is prejudice. Prejudice is not a bad word. Prejudice. Um, let's search here. So prejudice can be here. Thank you, AI. Prejudice is a negative attitude or judgment about a person or a group of. Huh? No, that's so you have again like uh, homophobia, racism, but it's not that the point that I was trying to make, because prejudice can also be used as a preconcept. Let's see if I have this or I'm just talking bullshit. Maybe I'm talking bullshit and I don't know the word, but it's about to be like a preconcept. Preconcept. So a preconcept is a thing that you have and is not a bad thing. It's a basically using your experience to say if something is bad or not. For example, I have a preconcept that sh- being shot at is not good for my health. Very basic example, because I don't need to be shot at to know that being shot at is not good. This is why preconcept and prejudice, because prejudice is really a bad thing. I didn't know that prejudice is always bad, but the preconcept doesn't really needs to be bad. Again, I deviate a lot, but the whole point that I was trying to say is racist racism exists in the world, and the racism is possible to happen between all types of race. That's why it's raceism. It's not blackism, it's not whiteism, it's not Asianism or yellowism or brownism. It's racism. It's about race. The example that I give it as well is if you if you're the other example that I remember that I gave was if you're white and you're walking in the neighborhood in a black neighborhood that you have like all blacks and a and a gangs and is a bad neighborhood and they're all black, they're gonna see you differently because you're white in a black neighborhood. This is racist against white. Wow, wow. And they say, no, 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 it's not racist. It's the white person trying to invade black spaces. So the white is wrong. And I say, okay, let's say that that's true. So the attitude that the black person has against white is what? It's not racism. It's just a sentiment of protection. You're fucking stupid. And that was basically the conversation, the 4 or 5 hours conversation that I have with my 3 friends. And uh they also said in the book that, because I'm having the book on my side here, as you can see, and I'm trying to remember the topics that we said, and they said about things there could be considered racism that not necessarily is racism. So is about the words and the phrases that we use. For example, a very common racist word is calling a black person a monkey because they look like a monkey. Oh, that's racist. Yes. But the thing that I'm trying to talk with you guys is about why is racist. Because for me, words does not have the power, but the understanding of the person has the power to determine if it is racist or not, and if it is liable to be canceled and to be prosecuted and to be and to be uh, have like a covenant against you and against your acts. Because I'm gonna give you two examples. The first example is using monkey again. If you have uh, a black player, I think that happened on soccer. So on soccer, you had a black player that everyone was calling him a monkey because they are being racist, because they are saying, "Oh, they're just a monkey. The guy is a monkey. Ooh, 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 ah, 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 ah. You're having a banana. You're a black person." So that's racist. Okay, fair. But let's say that you have a climbing context, con con competition. You have a climbing competition, a rock climbing competition, and the person is black, and you say to that, "Oh my God, you're going there like a monkey, just jumping rock to rock. You're super fast." That's racist. In my point of view, no, that's not racist, because the objective of the person can get offended. Don't get me wrong. The person can get offended with anything, because this society, they're way too afraid of talking and way too afraid of saying anything that can be hurtful, because we're not talking anymore. We're always afraid. And the thing is, that person should be the one who said that it was racist or not. If it was racist, why you need to go to the court and say, "Oh, he called me a monkey, so I'm gonna sue his ass until he has no one else." The person could just go there and say, "Oh, I really don't like that you called me that way. Can you please don't call me that again?" And the other person, if it is a sensible person, is gonna say, "Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't mean a bad thing, because you're climbing so fast. Looks like I'm seeing an animal destroying the course." And uh, that was my example there, because the intention the intentions behind the words are more important than the words itself. And oh, you can also go against what I said before and say, "Oh, but they're not courage enough to go talk to their abusers and say they're feeling." So that looks like a their problem, because in a communication, when you say something, you cannot take it back. So it depends about the other person how to interpret it, and it's more like you're creating a big mess because a miscommunication problem. So you can say, "Oh, you could just not call the person a monkey." Yeah, but the same way that the person can interpret different ways, the person can try to say different things different ways. So, but nowadays everyone is so scared and so afraid to say things that is crazy. The second example that I'm gonna do, that I'm probably gonna get canceled and this video banned, is about the is about the word, the N word. Let's say about that to not be 100% cancel. The N word should be banned. Should not be banned. And oh, why are you not speaking? Because you're afraid? Yes, I'm not speaking the word because I'm afraid of you. This is the problem that I'm trying to say. Is not about the word itself. Again, it's about the meaning. Because why black persons can say the N word, and you cannot because you're white? Oh, because you're going back to your roots and that's racist. No, it's not. You're stupid fucking bitch. If you really wants to everyone to not speak the word again, why you're keep talking about the world? Why you're keep using a bad word to in your songs, in your music, in your day-to-day life? When you have like you have like bunch of videos of black person just calling each other's the N word, and they're just saying because they can. That's stupid. The vocabulary should be usable for every single person. Oh, but this word means bad things. Yes, as well as fuck, as shit, as sex, as porn, as your mama. All these words means bad things. But again, goes back to the context. Oh, but what is the context that you're gonna use that word? Maybe, maybe you can use because you're talking with your friend. In Brazil, we can call it black as negros, and you can call it black as pretos. In Brazil, we have like a huge problem because one of these two ways are the right way, and other one is the wrong way. But the problem is they decided that because in I remember that I don't know, maybe 10 years ago they're saying, oh, if you use negros you're being racist, and the right way is pretos. And a couple of years after that, oh, if you say pretos is racist, you have to use negros. So do you see how absurd the thing is? You're just stopping people to using words that they cannot use because they're not the right color. You're being racist and you don't even know. Again, is a bad word. Is the For me, the N word is the same thing as calling someone the son of a bitch, or calling someone a motherfucker, or calling someone a son of a thousand. What is it called? A son, a son of a thousand mothers, or something like that. So do you understand the problem? The problem is because everyone is so sensible about the topic that you cannot even talk about the topic without being disrespectful. So and when you don't talk about a thing, you're just making when you're I can relate it to what Morgan Freeman said. When you don't talk about a thing, the thing stopping existing. That's why if you go back 20 years or if you go back 10 years, no one talked the N word, the N word, 10 or 15 years. I don't remember. No one talk about N word. But nowadays, since all the black ones are using the N word just to have fun and just to say, oh, you cannot say that, you're creating a rivalry again. You're making that word more popular. It's so popular that then you can listen that word in the songs. So the thing is, I'm singing. You have like a movie that made a joke about that. Is if I'm singing a song that have an N word, can I say it or not? Because I'm just singing the song. Oh no, you cannot say it. So I'm just singing the song, comes the N word, and I say, I'm gonna be like a Fortnite censorship, like a radio censorship that I just start singing like "You motherfucker like a ba." You see how stupid that is? You see where we are going? You don't have any more control what the society are saying. So 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 that thing is why I believe that if the society really wants to stop racism, you just need to stop talking about it, because all our laws are not racist. You have cops racist. First of all, that's a lie. Second of all, if the cops are racist, we can make a movement to have more training to get there, to get them in trouble, because I could you not believe racism, be racist is against the law. So they already have a thing to say, oh, you're being racist. But the other problem that we're facing in this society is about the false accusations. I'm not gonna talk about false accusations because I'm just gonna reserve this topic more about misogyny and false accusation as a whole, from like abuse false accusations that we're having a lot nowadays. And again, false accusation is against the law as well. But when you're have the label of racist as well as abuser or uh, a rapist, your life is over. But if you're a false accuser, nothing's gonna happen to you. You just have to pay a fine and maybe being at a jail. I don't know, for 6 months, and that's it. You destroy other person's life because you can, and that's get me so super upset. But oh well, this was the topic that I was trying to say. That is the whole concept about being racist against white is not real. That's racist all by itself. Uh, thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry. I know this topic is sensitive to some people, but it goes back to my idea that if the topic is sensitive, we should not speak about it because some people will get offended. In my world, in my opinion, no, because we need to have this type of conversations to trying to understand each other. Because again, if you're just don't have any idea, and you just have this big monster that is hunt you down of your fears, you're being afraid of living, and you're never gonna get better, and you're just putting more fuel into the fight. But thank you so much for listening my rambles. I think I when I always talk about this type of topics, I always go a little bit overboard. But this is my opinion. Thank you so much for listening. Please, if you disagree or agree, leave a comment down below. Because again, uh, this is my diary, some sort of sorts. I'm not the owner of the truth. So everything that I said here, I know that because I live these things, but doesn't mean that I'm right. I could set these hours speaking about that and talking a lot of bullshit. And how how can I fix myself with you guys? If you guys just say, "Oh, what you say doesn't make any sense because of this, this, and this," uh, I I really like to have a conversation with you guys, just to trying to understand better, and just to, like I have with my friends, because even after 4 hours of conversation, I try to convince them at least the basic of blacks can be racist as well, and could be racist against white. White can suffer racism. And I think I kind of convinced one person of my friends. That said, they didn't change my word of view because their arguments were basically illogical. I'm trying to consider myself a very logic person, and if I cannot see the logic behind what you're saying, for me, you're just speaking gibberish that doesn't need to be considered. because you're just lying to yourself and trying to lie to me to convince that something is real than when it's not. For example, when you go back to the police having training to stop black persons because usually the criminals are black. You don't have any argument, you don't have any basis. You're just talking that out of your head. That does not make any sense. Oh, I don't know. I don't know, and I want to know more, and I want to talk. Again, this is my opinion, but my opinion can always change, as yours can change as well. I hopefully I make myself clear. Sorry for my translations and my things, but I trying to did my best. Thanks so much. My name is Kyle, and this is my opinion. And I see you on the next one. Bye bye.